Hello! Welcome to the Underpaid Gamers podcast. My name is Tony. Justin is not going to be with us today. He has a work function to be at for like a whole week. So I brought my wife with us. This is Emily.
Hello!
There she is. We will be going through what it's like to be married to a gamer, from her perspective, I guess. And I have some news here. We'll talk about the Game Awards, some TSM stuff. Minecraft is coming to a new system.
Whoop whoop!
And some Destiny news. So let's get started. Alright, so with the news, the first thing I have up, this won't mean anything to you, Emily, but TSM, which is one of the biggest esports teams, one of the biggest esports corporations, is looking for two teams, one for CSGO and one for COD, Call of Duty. So it's nice to see that there are bigger names going to Call of Duty, because Call of Duty has been struggling to get to be known as a bigger esport. So it's nice that TSM and then also Luminosity, I believe, are trying to create teams for this Black Ops 3. So it's nice that it's getting bigger. TSM already has teams in League of Legends. CSGO, obviously, they're trying to get another one. Hearthstone.
Whoop, I know that one.
And you know Trump from Hearthstone.
I do.
Do your impression of Trump.
This is gonna be amazing!
Yeah.
He's just the cutest little player I've ever seen.
He's surprisingly short.
Really?
Actually. Like, you see him walking around on like some videos, he's like 5'5".
Oh my, I always imagined him as like a taller...
No, he's...
like you tall.
I love Trump. I like Trump a lot. He has a normal shaped head, but a really small body. Like he's not like Peter Dinklage small, so he's not like a small person, but he's like of an average sized person, he's on the small side.
Ah.
Which is funny.
The more you know.
And then TSM also has... TSM stands for the solo mod. Mod? Mid? One of those two. They also have two Smash players. Leffen, who is the villain of Smash, as we have talked about.
I know that one.
You know, Leffen, and then Zero, who is almost the undefeated champion of Smash 4 for Wii U. Quick update on my Call of Duty career. I just got Dark Matter last night, which is fun. For all those that don't play Call of Duty, Dark Matter is when you get Diamond for every gun, which includes headshots and other challenges. You were studying for a test, and I got Dark Matter, and I interrupted you.
I about shot you in the head.
So that was fun. There was a Capcom Cup World Tournament 2015, which you don't know what that is, but they play Street Fighter 4. Kazunoko won over Diago, which generally Kazunoko loses to Diago, but Kazunoko sent Diago to loser's bracket earlier in the tournament with a 3-0, and then later Diago went through loser's bracket to fight Kazunoko again in Grand Finals, went to Game 5, and Kazunoko, who came in first, won $120,000.
Wow.
For a video game tournament. For Street Fighter, so that's a lot.
Is that the most that most tournaments do? Or
no, I think this $120,000 was Street Fighter 4's biggest tournament prize pool.
Oh, okay.
Of that one. Yeah. There's a Halo tournament, Halo World Championships, that has $1.7 million prize pool.
Okay.
The Call of Duty Championships has normally $1 million prize pool, $1 million prize pool, but I think it's bigger. We did my notes aren't on here, but earlier there's like a $3 million prize pool for like League of Legends and Dota 2. So $120,000 for one player is good, because normally when, like, for Call of Duty, for example, it's a team of 4, and with the $1 million prize pool, they have to split that 4 different ways, but they don't get the $1 million, they get $400,000, and they split the rest of the money with places like 1 through 8 or whatever. So, team of 4 for Call of Duty for a $1 million prize pool, each player gets about $100,000, which is a lot.
That's nothing to shake your head at.
But obviously not as much as $120,000 that Kazunoko won. I was surprised there was no pop-off after this. Now, pop-off is, I don't know if it's distinctly a Smash term, or if it's an anything term, but I see it most in Smash. When someone wins, they, like, jump up and down and, like, do a shoryuken! And, like, punch the air, and, like, it's a physical form of emotion when they get really happy. Like, when you just jump up and down from excitement after you've played this awesome set and you've won. That happens in Smash all the time, especially with win and championships. there was no pop-off, and just regular fashion, he stood up after he won $120,000. He stood up and shook Diago's hand, and he turned around and he just raised his arms in the air, and that was it. Like, how are you not jumping up and down right now? Why is there no pop-off? But I would pop off.
You would pop off.
You would pop off.
I would pop off. I did pop off today.
Yeah, see? When you got home from that test, you popped off.
I did pop off.
Sparrow Racing has been added to Destiny. When I first saw that Sparrow Racing was being added to Destiny, I'm like, oh, that'll be cool. It'll be like Mario Kart. And I guess a lot of people thought it would just be going on patrol and riding your Sparrow around and hitting checkpoints, which is so weird that I don't know why people would think that. But it's like courses, and you have to run through these gates, and I think you get missiles and power-ups and stuff. It's not enough to get me to play Destiny again, but it is free. It's a free add-on, so a lot of people that still play Destiny think it's pretty fun. Something special for you, Emily, sort of. The Wii U has signed a contract to get Minecraft.
About time.
To play on Wii U, so that's starting December 17th. So now every system has Minecraft, PC, everything. Phones, tablets, whatever. Minecraft, probably one of your favorite games?
I would definitely say it's up there. The more people playing it, just...
Warms your heart.
Warms the cockles of my heart.
I don't know what a cockle is, but...
It's like the depths.
Oh, okay.
Way deep down there. Deep down there.
Okay. So some game awards we have talked about. We haven't talked about, but we will talk about here. The Game Awards was a couple weekends ago. I'll just read off some titles that I thought were interesting. Not every single one, but some interesting ones. The best family game was Mario Maker. Mario Maker, you know how like old school Mario games is all 8-bit and you like run sideways and you jump over things and you hit Goombas and all this stuff? The Wii U released this game called Mario Maker where it lets you just generate these levels. So you can make all these levels no matter what. Like you have editing tools and you can make these levels and then people can play your levels that you made.
Oh.
So there's a lot of customization to it, but there's also like some crazy difficult levels. If you haven't seen any, the listener, and you want to, just Google like Mario Maker videos and go to YouTube or whatever, and you'll see like the craziest, like things that shouldn't be possible. Like you have to get like the timing down and the pixels down and everything perfect to beat these levels because people make them so hard.
That's crazy.
But a lot of people have enjoyed it. Last year, Mario Kart 8 won Best Family Game. So Nintendo, again, that family console, not a surprise. Nintendo wins again in Best Multiplayer Game with Splatoon, and then again with Best Shooter with Splatoon. Splatoon is that Wii U game where you're like a squid, and you shoot ink out, and then you can like climb the ink and like get on walls and stuff. A lot of fun. I played it at the Target kiosk. We were there one day, and they have it, and they have like the gamepad like not taped down, but like screwed on with plastic to like the kiosk, so you can't really pick it up and move it around. So it kind of defeated the purpose of the game, because you when you want to aim with something, you have to turn the gamepad like up or down to change it. And then after I played that, I found out Justin told me that you don't have to move the gamepad to look around and aim. You can just like change the settings and use the analog stick like most games. But whatever.
It's alright.
Esports Team of the Year.
Optic Gaming.
Known and loved by us is the Optic Gaming. They won Esports Team of the Year this time, so that was fun. Last year, the Team of the Year was Ninjas in Pajamas.
I don't know them.
They play CS:GO. Last year, again, 2014, the Esports Gamer of the Year was Nadeshot. So Optic's been in 2 Game Awards, which is nice. Esports Game of the Year this year was CS:GO. So even though Optic doesn't have a CS:GO team, they still won it, which is impressive. Sports, Racing, and Indie Game of the Year go to the same Rocket League, which you've never played, but you probably saw me playing. It's that car game.
Oh, it's the car games, like soccer, but
it's like that soccer car game where you blow things up.
Okay, yeah, blow things up. I know one.
And then Game of the Year, also Best RPG and Developer of the Year, goes to Witcher 3. So that's nice. I played Witcher 3. I thought it was kind of boring. I didn't think it was boring, but it took a long time. And I wasn't in the mood for it. Best Action Adventure Game would be Metal Gear Solid 5, and the soundtrack. They won Best Soundtrack. Surprisingly, Hideo Kojima was banned from the Game Awards by Konami.
What?
He is the developer that made Metal Gear Solid. So, like, after Metal Gear Solid 5 came out, they split ways. Like him and Konami split ways.
Did they have a fight?
I don't think so. I think
Did they?
he just quit.
Oh.
Like he was like, I've been here for like 25 years. I think it's time for me to stop. And then because I guess he was still like employed by them, they had a lawyer contact him, and he's like, "Hey, you can't come up to the Game Awards. We're banning you." So like he produced this game, and his game won these awards, but he couldn't accept it, which is stupid. So Konami's gotten a lot of flack for that, as they should.
Yeah. Talk about a slap in the face.
Yeah, not fun. And then finally, the best fighting game would be Mortal Kombat X. I have yet to play that, but I do have some friends that played it, and they say they really like it. Now, on to our main topic at hand, what it's like to be married to a gamer. I guess I have a few questions for you.
Oh, jeez.
Emily. Before we met, which was 3 years ago, what video games have you played?
Before I had met you.
Yeah. Before I forced you at gunpoint to play video games.
Pokemon.
Okay.
Like, all the way growing up. My favorite version was probably Leaf Green, because I had Totodile, which is my favorite Pokemon.
I don't know how I got Totodile and Leaf Green.
Maybe it wasn't Leaf Green.
It's probably Sapphire. Leaf Green and Sapphire are both Generation 3, and they came out at the same time, but you can't get Totodile and Leaf Green until after you beat the game. It was Sapphire. Or Ruby.
It would have been Sapphire then, because Sapphire was my sister's game that I stole to play in secret because I love Totodile so much.
Oh, so we are both guilty of stealing Pokemon
No, it was
games.
Gold. On
Oh,
Gold.
that makes sense. Yep.
It was Gold because I was on my Game Boy Color, which is my first gaming system. So that was probably the first video game I ever played.
But you did steal Pokemon games?
From my sisters all the time.
A few episodes ago, me and Justin discussed my stealing. How I had the sticky fingers steal games from my neighbors all the time.
Oh, you have the sticky finger. Well,
not anymore. I used to steal all the time.
But my sticky fingers were different. Like, I'd take it when she was done playing it, you know, forgot about it or whatever. And then when she was asking about it, she's like, "Hey, where's my Sapphire game from the Game Boy Advance?" I'd be like, "Oh, I don't know. Did you check upstairs in your bedroom?" And she'd be like, "No, I haven't." And then I'd get it up there before
she runs up there and you, like, put it on the table?
Yes.
Like, no, it's there the whole time! Like, you need to look better. It's like, oh, I guess I do need to look better.
Which is exactly what she'd say, because she's awful at looking for things. Yeah. Well, so I return my games that I steal.
didn't. I still have them.
And you don't.
They're in the closet.
You keep them. Let's see. Pokemon was first, and then there was Yoshi. Mario and Yoshi game.
For the Game Boy?
Yeah, for Game Boy SP is what it was
Advanced
for.
SP. So you primarily just Game Boy games?
Yeah, just Game Boy games most of the time. And then, we did get a Wii before I met you. And so we did.
You had Smash for the Wii too, I think.
Mm-hmm. We had Smash. I even had Smash before I met you.
Brawl.
But it was Brawl. So it wasn't as good as Melee.
You don't like it.
Yeah.
I don't blame you.
And then I think that was pretty much my exposure to video games before I met you.
There's a story that we have. When we first met, when you had a boyfriend, and I'm like, well, I don't like that anymore, so I broke you up. Which is awesome. But awesome for my part. I'm like, well, I don't want this anymore. And then we started playing Pokemon together, you and I. And there's this one instance where it was spring break, and you went home to your parents' house, and I went to New York for a school trip. And on the day we got back, we had agreed that we're going to play this. We're going to have a Pokemon battle. Mm-hmm. Like an old school Pokemon battle with like the link cable and everything. This was on Fire Red and Leaf Green.
Yep, Leaf Green.
I think we had like a max level cap of like 50 or something. So
yeah, the level cap was 50.
So you went home and played Pokemon and got all your Pokemon to like level 50. I went to New York, and I was too embarrassed to like play on the plane or anything, so I just didn't play. And then when we got back the same day, your Pokemon like level 50, mine's at like level 34.
Okay, that's an excuse.
I want to tell you what happened.
Those are excuses.
And then there was, the rule was that whoever lost at Pokemon would then be the other person's like boyfriend or girlfriend.
If I had won, you would be my boyfriend, and if I lost, I would be your girlfriend.
Exactly.
Those were the terms.
So unfortunately for myself and for my pride, I had lost this Pokemon battle to a girl.
Yeah!
Which is even worse. But we had started dating at the time. But it was fun to have like a Pokemon battle as a date type of thing. And that's kind of where we started with video games. Or where you started with video games. I've been playing video games for a long time. I lent you my copy of Fire Emblem, The Sacred Stones.
Yes.
That you played. My
played
favorite character is
summer.
Ross, the big old axe berserker guy. I don't remember who you liked, but you played it over the summer. And it's an awesome game.
It was super fun. It's a lot like chess, almost. The strategy
it's
to
similar.
it.
I mean, it's a turn-based strategy game. So you could say that it's a lot like chess. There was... I eventually convinced you to buy a PS3.
Oh, yeah.
For whatever reason, I can't remember why. But I had an extra TV, and I let you buy it from me, even though we were dating.
I know, you were such a stickler.
I'm like, well, I'll give you $50. You're like, well, okay. Even though you're making me buy it so I can play video games with you.
I know, this is your idea, and you're making me give you money.
Yeah.
That's Tony for you.
But then I also used my connections at the place I worked at, which was H.H. Gregg, to get you a super discounted PS3.
Yes, you did.
So it all came around.
It all kind of evened out,
anyway,
I think. Yeah.
So you got a PS3, and I lent you Uncharted.
No.
Yes.
Was it Uncharted? I thought it was Skyrim
Not first. I gave you Uncharted first, and you played 1, 2, and 3. And what did you think about Uncharted?
Well, Uncharted, Nathan Drake. I mean, come on. He's like a treasure hunter. Super knowledgeable, super intelligent, super fun.
I don't know if he's that knowledgeable. A lot of the times he just kind of runs head on into things, and he's like, oh, well, I'm stuck here now.
Whatever.
I mean,
I connected with him. He was a, let's get in there and figure this out as we go kind of guy. I related. I liked it a lot. Yeah, I don't. It was fun. I think it wasn't. It's definitely not my favorite now, but it got me started.
Oh, I just remembered
PS3.
The very first game that you played on the PS3 was Heavy Rain.
What? No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was, because you came over to my house and you played Heavy Rain
and Skyrim and Heavy Rain.
I don't know, maybe. But
no, it was. Don't tell him. I was.
Unlike Justin, you played Heavy Rain all the way through.
I did.
And then you're like, this game is awesome. I'm gonna play it again.
I did.
So you played it twice.
I think I played it once, like making all the right decisions, quote unquote right decisions, and then I was like the villain.
Game.
Yeah, it's a decision-based game where you're forced to make these choices, and a lot of them are super hard to make. Like, are you going to save the life of a kid, or are you going to go save this woman who's getting beaten? Like, the kid or the girl?
Would you suggest people to play this game?
I think it's super fun. So yes, I mean,
if someone had the game in their possession that a friend had loaned them, would you suggest that they play that game?
Yes, Justin, you should play Heavy Rain. It's also, I think it would be fun. We haven't played it together yet, but I think that would be super fun to do. Just to, because you learn a lot.
Heavy Rain
about the other person and the decisions that you make.
I had Heavy Rain when I lived in the dorm, and I played it. I had played it before I think I went to college. I'm like, this game is awesome. So I brought it to the college dorm, and there was a couple guys down the hall that would always get together with like 4 or 5 other guys and just play the game all together. And they're like, no, let's do this decision. Let's do this one. They'd argue about it for like 5 minutes. But sometimes the decisions are like split second.
Yeah.
So it'd be really funny to watch them argue and watch them play the game.
And some guy would do the decision and be like, oh, what the heck? Why'd you do that?
Yeah. So that's super fun. And then we, very recently, maybe not very recently, but we did play Little Big Planet.
Oh, that was last year.
I think 1 and 2. That was a long time ago.
I liked 1 better than 2.
We played it,
1 was better
and that's... When we first started looking for games that we could play together, as a couple, kind of like co-op. Now, as I've discussed before, when I grew up, I have 2 sisters and myself, so I didn't have anybody to play video games with. So I had a whole bunch of single-player games, Infamous, Call of Duty, Sly Cooper, like Uncharted, Grand Theft Auto, things like that. And then once I started having interest in playing with other people, we bought like Little Big Planet, which was super fun to play with each other.
So fun. We'd like race each other.
We did that.
Kick you out.
We'd race each other. We'd always... the competitiveness in me would get out because you have to see who can grab the most orbs.
Yeah.
Whatever those point things are. For the PS4, we bought Knack, which was one of the very first games. It's that big old...
I wasn't crazy about that, though, because
right.
It wasn't co-op. It was Tony's the main character, and then my character is dependent on wherever his goes. So if his character goes super far to the right, and I was trying to be on the left, it would force me to go more right, or it would cut my screen out until I got back with you. Or if I wanted to go a completely separate direction, I couldn't do it because my character was tied to yours. So I didn't really enjoy that one.
That's true.
As much.
It could be a fun... I haven't gone back to it, but I think it could be a fun single-player game. It does have that co-op feature,
Yeah, but we didn't trade the single.
But there
player.
is those complaints that I think are valid. We played a lot of Melee together. / I played a lot of Melee and you were just there.
I was there. Oh, we did, what was that? Rayman. We did Rayman,
We
too.
did Rayman Legends. That's on my list.
I enjoyed that.
That was a better co-op experience, I think,
yes.
than Knack. But Rayman Legends, I don't think I've talked about it on this podcast before. I think the most fun that we had on those were the music levels.
Oh, the very last.
There's these like rooms you go into, and each room has a different level, or each room has a series of levels. Sometimes there's like 25 levels, and the 25th level is always just like a fun level, and it's always like these music songs. So there's like Black Betty, there's like some classical stuff, there's some jazz.
Whoa, Black Betty.
That's the song.
That's good.
And with every like single beat or with every lyric or whatever, your character would do a move. So you
Like
have to jump or like
kick
slide or grind or whatever. And it's fun how they got that in exactly with the song, and how you have to go at this. You have to go at the tempo of the song.
Yep.
In order to go through the course. Rayman Legends was a lot of fun. The first Rayman game, the first and only Rayman game I played was for the PS1, and ever since then I'm like, well, this doesn't look very fun. But Rayman Legends we bought. I think we got it at GameStop for the super discounted.
Yeah, it was super cheap.
And we enjoyed that a lot. Another game we got at GameStop was Lego Marvel, I think.
Yeah, that was GameStop.
We played that a lot, but we haven't touched it since.
Haven't beaten it.
It was fun, we just haven't gotten to it. Some games that you played. Mercenary Kings.
Mercenary Kings!
Yeah. Mercenary Kings, I think, was a free download game for the PS4. Yeah. It's a side-scroll shooter.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
kind of like Mario.
It's more like Contra.
Oh, more like Contra. Okay.
So you go side to side and you have these guns and you shoot things. We played that co-op, but you love that game so much more than I did.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
So I got tired of it. But every once in a while I'll come in and I'll sneak in on you and you'll be playing Mercenary Kings. And you always, whenever you say Mercenary Kings, the very intro part of Mercenary Kings when you start it, it's like this loud, like, Mercenary Kings! And whenever you talk about Mercenary Kings, you always do the voice.
It's kind of mandatory. The voice is mandatory.
We played, along with Melee, we played PlayStation All-Stars.
I think that was the one I bought.
Which was a lot of the... Well, we have
PS3.
2 copies. But that was a lot of the reason why you bought a PS3.
Why I bought a PS3.
Because we thought PlayStation All-Stars was going to be like Melee.
A lot more like the Smash, but it really
wasn't.
Was not.
We played it for a good amount.
Yeah, good. I mean, it was entertaining, if anything.
Yeah, but unlike Smash, where everybody had it and everybody played it, PlayStation All-Stars, really only you and I had it.
Yeah.
So it was just like, we're playing the same people over and over again. Red Dead Redemption.
Yes.
Let's
played Red Dead Redemption.
Talk about how good that game is for a minute, because it's awesome.
See, I wasn't all that into it. I mean, it was fun, but...
What about the Wild West is not interesting?
Okay, it was too drawn...
John Marston is awesome.
It is too drawn out for me.
What?
It takes too long for me to get through it. I get bored. Kind of like Jessica Jones for me. It was, like, too drawn out.
How dare you?
You know what? How dare you?
Everyone knows Jessica Jones starts off slow and ends really good.
See, I watched to the 6th episode. I gave it a fair chance.
It starts really slow.
You're telling me. The first 6 episodes.
Yeah, but you also didn't like Daredevil, which started off really fast. You just don't like Marvel.
Not true. Not true.
Upset.
I like Flash. And...
That's not Marvel. That's
okay,
DC.
there we go. See, there we go.
So you don't like Marvel.
But I like the Amazing Spider-Man. I liked him.
Andrew Garfield. I don't blame you.
He's the perfect type of geeky Spider-Man that most audiences will enjoy.
The perfect kind of geeky hunk is what I'm hearing. That most audiences will enjoy. Listen, Andrew Garfield's a hunk.
He is a hunk.
This
is weird talking to you about I don't know.
Listen, everyone knows he's a hunk. Anyway, back to Red Dead Redemption. It's wonderful.
You can say
that's like the only.
You want. I
almost think that you don't like it as much, specifically because you don't play very many video games. And what I mean by that is you haven't experienced the repetition
there we go.
of you haven't experienced the repetition of video games in general. So like Rockstar made Grand Theft Auto, they also made Red Dead Redemption. Call of Duty arcade shooter, all the same. Skyrim, Oblivion, Morrowind, it's all very similar. But with Red Dead Redemption, it's an Old West style game made fantastically. And while you don't necessarily like the setting, or you don't necessarily like the characters, or you don't necessarily like the
No, the
gameplay.
setting of the characters were fine. It was just it was too drawn out, the story.
Right, but you don't... I think it's almost hard for you to appreciate how good of a game it is because you haven't experienced so many other games. It's
that may be true. Because like you said, I still don't have.
It's
a lot
very
of
similar to how your favorite movie is Transformers, the Michael Bay Transformers.
There's nothing wrong with that.
There's everything wrong. with
Bumblebee, just Bumblebee. That's the only reason you need Bumblebee. That's kind of how I feel about Infamous too. Not Infamous #2, but Infamous as well. Because I liked that one, and I did actually like that one because I played it through twice. I played it through as good, and I played it through as evil.
As you should.
As you should with that game. Any game you get the option to play good and evil, you should play both.
This is really long, like Fallout or Skyrim. Skyrim, you don't have a good evil choice.
Oh, well.
Anyway.
I mean, you could get bounties on your head at all the.
Anyway, you've played Skyrim. You've played a lot of Skyrim.
Oh yeah, favorite game.
Favorite game. The very first time I introduced you to Skyrim, you liked it. I had been playing it, and I think you had came over to like the dorm, and you're like, "What is this game?" I'm like, "Oh, this is Skyrim. You might like it." And you're like, "Oh, I'll give it a try." And you created a character, and your very first character I remember was like this big brute guy. He would always use double-handed weapons, but you also wore light armor. So you'd go in
I had
and
no idea what I was doing.
You'd go in and you like try to melee all these people, and then you die super quick. He's like, "Well, I hit them so hard, but they just kill me real quick." I'm like, "Well, you're not.
The armor.
You did not do it right."
But my character now that I play, I tend to play a slight of stature female that's a master in sneak and stealth and archery. That's my favorite. Is coming in, taking them all by surprise, killing them all. They don't even know what happened.
Now you have this thing when you play games where you get really motion sick. So like,
I do.
if you're looking too fast with the character, you get motion sick, and you have to stop playing the game.
I do.
So a way to counteract that when you play Skyrim is to crouch and walk, because you move slower when you crouch walk. So your sneak is always at like level 100 because you literally just crouch walk
everywhere.
So like before you get to Whiterun on the very first, you're like at level 80 sneak.
Oh, okay, maybe 60.
But you just crouch walk. You're like crawling on the ground, and you're like, "I'll get motion sick, so I have to do it this way."
That's not my main reason. I genuinely enjoy being a sneak master because I can just stand there in the middle of a crowd and nobody sees me.
You can pickpocket everybody.
And I can pickpocket everybody.
I want this, and I want this.
It's like shopping.
It's like shopping, almost.
Like Skyrim. It's like
the 5-finger discount.
Yeah, 5-finger discount.
But you played a lot of Skyrim. Probably the game that you've played the most be Skyrim.
Either Skyrim or Minecraft, I would say.
Oh yeah, you played Minecraft.
Because I play Minecraft a lot.
I had to rip you away from the TV to actually do this recording because you're playing Minecraft.
I did.
We have Minecraft on the PS3. You've been playing it.
I don't know. It comes and goes in phases. Like, I really want to play it, and then I let it go for like a week or two. And then I really want to play it.
That's almost everyone's reaction to Minecraft that I've known.
Yeah.
They're like, I have this idea in my head. I'm going to build this awesome tower, and there's going to be like flamethrowers on it and gold everywhere. And then you get to it, and you build the tower, and then you're like, well, that was fun. Now what do I do?
Well, you need some time to like think, get the creative juices flowing, and then be like, oh, I want to build a dragon tower.
Yeah.
Which is what I'm in the middle of building a dragon castle. It's very cool.
A dragon.
It's got like a head of a dragon on one wing, and the other wing is its tail, like wings of a building. And then I actually, my plan is to build wings coming out of the ground. It's gonna be very cool with like fire and brimstone and
fire and
stuff.
brimstone. Wow.
And lava. Well, that would be cool if I got lava flowing out of its mouth. I don't know how I would do
The
that.
dragon's like throwing up lava.
Yeah.
I had too much Tabasco. So Skyrim and Minecraft are probably what you have the most expertise in.
Yes. I don't know if I'd be an expert per se, but
what are your favorite things to do in Minecraft or Skyrim?
in Skyrim, besides sneaking and archery,
Yes.
I love the Thieves Guild quest. Love it. Probably one of my favorite quests that you can get in Skyrim. Yeah, because I guess I like walking that line between being the good guy within the guild, but the guild itself is not really the best place. Oh, and the Dark Brotherhood. That is a super fun
So
quest,
you, like,
too.
walk into a room and be like, I'm the best person here. Like, who?
Yeah.
Like, you guys are a whole bunch of thieves and killers, and I come in here and
I'm the best.
And I thieve and kill things, but I'm also a good person.
Yeah.
Of course.
Gotta walk the line.
Let's... Minecraft. What do you like so much about Minecraft?
I think I just like that it's a blank slate every single time I go in there. If I'm bored of my dragon castle, I could go and I could build Atlantis if I wanted to. Or I could herd sheep. I could be the master sheep herder. I could go burn down the village if I wanted to. Or, like, right now where my dragon castle is situated, I can see winter land from one side, there's the Amazon behind me, and then there's this rocky canyon with lava pouring out of every open crevice. And every single time I start a new game, or every time I go play, it's completely different, and I can create whatever I want to. But I also like how you have to work to build things. Like if you want to build a map, I mean, you're going to need a compass, and you're going to need XYZ to build all these things. Or if you want to make a bookshelf, you're going to need to start with the wood, and you're going to need to start with the paper, so you're going to need sugar cane, and it's just got a nice logical flow to it. I like it.
Interesting. So...
And the pixel art kind of helps with the motion sickness thing, because it's not super detailed.
so you can
So I can actually play this game.
So what would you say would be your favorite video game?
Like, all time?
Of all time.
Skyrim, hands down. I've said it before and I'll say it again. It's my favorite.
Now I can't remember, how many characters have you had on Skyrim? Do you only play that one character, or did you remake a new one?
No, I've played as other characters. Like, obviously my first one, epic fail. But I've also done a lizard guy who does magic.
Argonian,
thank you. I've done
an Argonian mage.
The Argonian mage. That's what I did. And then I've done dual wielding again. I did dual wielding, heavy armor, big
two-handed?
brawler. Yeah, two-handed.
Two-handed or dual wielding? Two-handed.
Two-handed.
Okay.
And then I tried the
Now you do something that I never do, which is alchemy.
Well, that's just something I picked up recently because.
Or just something I dabble in.
I dabble in it on the weekends.
So you, I never do archery. I always do archery. I never do alchemy because I always just have like a healing spell.
Right.
And I also feel like it's ridiculous to have to go to the menu every time I want to heal myself. Go to the menu and go to potions and choose a potion.
Well, the reason I don't do it for the healing potion, I do the healing spell, but I do it because, I mean, it's like money. You can get money for selling your potions and...
Just throw them at people. If I could throw them at people, I would. If I have like a poison vial and throw it at somebody... Like, I know you can poison your blades. You can put poison on your blades and hurt them, but I just want to throw a poison vial at somebody. But I don't think that's possible. Maybe the next one.
Skyrim was probably my favorite, solo player. But I think my favorite one that we've played together was probably Little Big Planet 1.
Mm-hmm.
I really liked that one. So if you got girlfriends, fellas, or wives,
or ladies,
friends, or just ladies.
If you're looking for a co-op game, is what you're saying.
If you're looking for a co-op game that would work with the ladies, Sackman is where it's at.
Sackboy. From Little Big Planet. That's also only on the PS3. But they just came out with Little Big Planet.
Did they?
3 or 4 for the PS4. We didn't grab it.
We haven't played that yet. We might. I don't know. I just was disappointed with 2, so I'm kind of leery to try
another one,
the third one. But maybe if it gets cheap enough, we'll do it as a date night or something.
Also, we never put a patent on that Pokemon battle asking somebody out. So if you're looking to ask somebody out,
that's a good way to do it.
Challenge them to a Pokemon battle, and they'll be like, "No, I don't want to battle you. You're weird." Or they'll be like, "Why not?"
That's where you find the good ones.
Justin tells me. I don't think Justin tells me this. I tell Justin all the time how jealous he is that I have a wife that plays video games. Whenever, because he'll come over sometimes.
He'll walk into the room and he'll be like, "You tell it."
No, because we'll record at my house, and Emily will be like playing Minecraft or Skyrim in the living room, and he'll come over, and I'll be like, "Justin, aren't you so jealous that my wife plays video games?" And he'll be like, "Grumble, grumble."
And I'll walk away with head down.
He'll walk away.
He'll just walk away.
Well, that's
I
fun.
love you, Justin.
So if you want to make your friends jealous, find a girl that plays video games. It's really fun.
But see, it's really hard. I'm going to say it's really hard to find a girl that will admit that. Not necessarily all the time, but I was a closet video gamer.
Video games are getting more popular.
I was a closet video gamer. Like when we first started talking about Pokemon, I was super embarrassed and nervous talking about it. I didn't even want to I don't think I even brought it up until we knew each other. What? 6 months maybe? Longer?
Pokemon?
Yeah!
No, I don't know. I don't think so.
It was a while because I was just nervous and scared to.
There was this weird
about
time when I was at college. We were in the dorms where everyone in my dorm, all the guys were playing Pokemon together. We're having like these contests to see who could have the best team and have like this giant tournament. And I think that was at the same time where like I was finding interest in you. So I'm like, we're all playing Pokemon. You should play Pokemon with us. And you're like, okay, I'll play Pokemon. That sounds like a lot of fun. I've never played this before. How do I do this? And I'm like, I'll let you borrow my Game Boy and you can play it. And you're like, no, I already have one. Don't worry about it. My roommate has one or something. I'll find it. I don't know. Oh, here it is right on the table. I just need to look better. I found the Pokemon game.
Yep.
So that was fun.
So just be warned. The good ones can hide.
So that's what it's like. Finding a girl that plays video games is a lot of fun. You can talk about video games all the time.
Well,
you don't play Call of Duty or anything.
No.
But you do know about like Optic Gaming, which
only
is
because you talk about them a lot.
it's my favorite Call of Duty team. You also know a lot about nerd stuff, basically because I just talk all the time. But you still know if you were in a trivia against someone of equal to you, I think you'd win if it was like nerd culture trivia.
Oh, just because of my exposure?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Anyway.
I don't know. It's also interesting being married to a gamer because you'll get super excited about, Nate shot up wine by the inside with Optic Gaming and blah, blah, blah. And that, like, I only can catch, like, 1 or 2 words out of everything that you and Justin are talking about or what you're talking about. Like, even in our intro, if you go back, you'll hear him explain, like, 3 different terms because of the look of utter confusion on my face.
Yeah, happens. It's that meta. Anyways, if you have any questions for me or Justin or Emily, you can tweet at us at UPGamersPodcast. We also have an email. Email us at underpaidgamerspodcast@gmail.com. We're on iTunes and SoundCloud. It is all free downloads. So if you would, I don't like saying this, but Justin likes saying this. Share and comment and like us and leave us a good review. He's always the guy that does that. I, however, personally like building a community. So if you were to comment on anything on SoundCloud, we generally comment back and we start a conversation that way. Again, we have the email at underpaidgamerspodcast@gmail.com. Tweet at us at UPGamersPodcast. We have a Stitcher account. Stitcher. I don't know, Justin did that. And then also IGN forums. Every once in a while, Justin posts something in IGN forums. So if you're looking for that, next week's episode, I think, actually at the beginning of this week, I started watching Daredevil Season 1 again. So I might compare Daredevil and Jessica Jones a little bit better next week. So look forward to that with Justin. Justin should be back next week, so it'll be the regular cast. And again, if you have any questions, just let us know. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week.
Bye!